Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Anything New York, where in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys my personal story of moving to New York City with just a couple $1,000s in the bank and not knowing if I was gonna have steady income, but I'm here a couple years later and I was able to figure out how to make it work. So let's get into it. Okay, so I was born and raised in the Metro New York area, and when I graduated high school, I then went to college at Manhattan College. And at this point, I was 21, about to turn 22, and I spent the next couple of years traveling around the world and also just couch surfing with friends here in New York City. I actually stayed at this apartment downstairs where my sister lives, so I was able to just figure it out for a couple of years, but always had this dream and ambition to get my own apartment or my own room in New York City. And when I was 23, just before I turned 24, I was able to make that happen. So I found the apartment on Craigslist. The reason why I knew I had to go through Craigslist was because the previous year I didn't really make any money, and that's what you have to show to the landlord to get approved for the lease. So I knew that I needed to do something a bit more sketchy and find somewhere on Craigslist. And it was a little bit sketchy, but it ended up being a pretty good situation. I found this place, it was in Chinatown, and it was $1,030 a month, but it was also a 6-story walk-up, had 7 roommates, and sometimes had the occasional rodents. So what this company would do exactly is they would find apartments where Chinese families had lived for about 50 years, and they were paying rent stabilized rents. So this company goes in and they would tell them, hey, we'll pay you 5 times, 10 times more than you're paying right now for your rent if we can take this over. So they would have to stay on the lease, this Chinese family, and they would move elsewhere, maybe with other family members, or just figure it out. And then this company comes in and rents it out to young people. But rent stabilized apartments in New York City from 50 years ago, this 7-bedroom apartment could have been maybe $75 to $200 only. So this company's definitely giving the Chinese family a good deal, and then also they're making bank renting it out to young people. So I was paying $1,030 a month. This covered the rent, the electricity, the Wi-Fi, pretty much everything, and including a man that would come once a week to clean up the place, clean the bathrooms, and then take out the trash. So it was a pretty good deal, especially for the location. Chinatown's so great that it's right in the center of Lower Manhattan, next to Soho, Tribeca, the Lower East Side, Battery Park. So I was just super excited on the location, not so much this room that literally could only fit a twin bed and had a tiny window. Which was a bummer when, I wanted to have friends over. They would have to just sit on my little room, just cramped, because there was no couch or no common area, and there were all these other random roommates that were from all of their countries, and I didn't want to take up too much space in our little living room that was just like a kitchen table. So when I decided to move in and I made the commitment, I had to put the deposit of around $1,000, and that's when I started to get a little bit nervous, because there was just this 2-week window where I was just anxiously waiting to move into this apartment. But the day I moved in, I will never forget. It was the happiest day of my life. I felt like all my dreams came true. Even though it was tiny and kind of gross, it was just still such a huge achievement to me to finally try and make it on my own. And from that point on, I was no longer nervous or scared anymore. I was just so excited. It was also around June 1st, so it was just starting to get warm out, and I was in such a great area that I had so much to occupy my time and keep me busy. So I had a couple $1,000s saved up, and at this point I was making a little bit of money from my clothing company Fortune, and this is also when I started my main YouTube channel that had 0 subscribers, so wasn't making any money yet. But then on the side, I was working part-time from around 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. delivering burgers in Tribeca. So after a couple months of delivering burgers, I ended up quitting that so that I could focus more time on my YouTube channel and also on Fortune. This was also 4 years ago, and I knew that Postmates was starting to get more popular, so I felt like if things went downhill and I wasn't making any money, I could at least make money from Postmates. So that was just the backup plan to keep me a little bit sane. So at this point, I think I had broken a Guinness World Record of living the cheapest in New York City. So I was paying $1,030 for my apartment, and then I would spend way under $500 a month from eating dollar dumplings, shout out to Vanessa's Dumplings and Tasty Dumplings, and then also dollar pizza, shout out to Joey Pepperonis. And then I would be grocery shopping at all these grocery stores in Chinatown. And to grocery shop in New York City, you know, there's places like D'Agostino or Whole Foods, and it's a complete ripoff. To get a carton of eggs is like $9. So to go to these grocery stores in Chinatown where everything is literally a fraction of the price, I was able to make that happen. It was kind of fun to go grocery shopping where it literally felt like you're in China. All the names of everything is in Chinese, so it was just like a cool experience. I felt like I was traveling by going to the grocery store. Then occasionally I would go out on dates, and I'm not gonna lie, I would always take them to the same spots. There's this one Vietnamese place called Thai Sun on Baxter Street. Amazing place. So I would go there. It had cool lights and had a cool feng shui, so the date was like a little bit impressed, and they gave you huge portions with all this delicious Vietnamese food, and for the two of us, it would cost under $20. So to go on a date in New York City to a restaurant for under 20 bucks, it's definitely a steal. And that's one of the things that you learn by living here, is just you find all these other hidden gems, you just meet more people and they tell you all their secret spots. And also by subscribing to this YouTube channel, I will be sharing more of my secrets and either fellow New York City residents, their secrets. So if you're not already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys next time.